Hello Scrappy fans, how are we going today? I have another 12 by 12 layout, a traditional layout using the February Kitaholic Kits main kit, as well as some extra pieces. Alright, what you can see here is I did cut the papers. This is a bit of a killer kit video. I managed to use all the bits of paper that I had left, I think, in the kit, which is the first time I've actually ever done that, so go me. But what you could just see there is my laying out of the papers and things like that, just something a little bit different layering technique and things like that. And I have sped this video up a fair bit just to not make it as long, because it did go for a little bit. Trying to decide on embellishments and whatnot, I think, was the process. So what I'm just doing here, as you can see, is just sticking down the papers, the background and things like that. So obviously starting with those bits of paper there, just using my double-sided tape, which I found tricky of late to try and peel the backing tape off. I don't know why, whether it's my wonky hands or whether or not it's just the tape itself. It's just tape I picked up. I think this roll was from just my local $2 shop, so who knows. These are all, as I said, all pieces. The pattern paper is all from the February main kit for Kitaholic Kits. The blue paper at the back I chose because of the blue in the picture is quite prominent, so I thought that actually went really well. I'm actually really pleased with how this layout turned out, and the blue paper at the background, as vibrant at first as I thought it would be, it's actually dulled down a little bit by the pattern paper over the top and blends well with all the bits and pieces I use, especially this light blue flower paper that came with it. I think it just sort of balances it out really well. And most of the ephemera you see on here will either be part of the February exclusive printables for the kit club, or the ephemera pack that was the Simple Stories Adore ephemera pack that came with it. I did add some of my own little bits of embellishments to go with the whole Valentine's theme, but other than that, all of this pretty much that you see is from the kit club. Yeah, see? I'm having trouble with it. God alone knows why. So I hope we're all doing really well. I'm hoping to have got this video and another video edited, and one that needs to be edited, and then obviously voiceover done. So hopefully over the next few days I will get some more up and running, and sort of trying to get ahead of time just to try and schedule in a couple of videos, maybe one a day, or I don't know, something like that. I've been on a bit of a scrapbooking roll. These two layouts, this layout and the other one that I've got done, were done probably about a week or more ago. I don't know, I can't remember. Not that long ago, by all means. It was completed before the end of February. Yeah, so, and then there's some new ones that I've just started doing as well. And of course, if you've been watching, I did upload one yesterday, a little quick one of my little nearly 4-year-old, who decided that she wanted to scrapbook with mummy. She was homesick from preschool yesterday, which was Friday. So yeah, we had a quiet mummy-daughter day, which was nice. Anyway, back to my layout. So the photo I'm scrapping here is just of my partner and I. When we headed up a few weeks ago, we headed up to Sydney to see Guns N' Roses, which was part of his Christmas present and part of our sort of Valentine's anniversary getaway kind of thing, because our Valentine's Day is the 14th and then our anniversary is a bit later in February, so we usually do something together for them. So yeah, that's the picture I'm scrapping here. And if you've seen any of my Project Life one I just did before was of Guns N' Roses itself, so my partner's a huge fan. So yeah, I took him to see them. So I decided to give it a dimension to my layers here with just popping the photo up on top of them, just to make it stand out a bit more, as I said, and pop it up, being that it is the only photo and it is a bit of a busy layout and a busy background with the different types of pattern paper. And the way I've layered them is I've tried to do sort of a, like you've got the big blue, light blue flower paper at the back, and then I've done light, dark, and things like that, just to make it balance out a bit more. So that's just a bit of fun foam I brought from Art and Craft the other week, that I've just popped on the back of that photo. Now I did cut some bits and pieces out again, as I said, just to shorten the video up a little bit, but you know, the key elements are there. Not much to say really, is there? You can kind of see what I'm doing. Maybe I should do some elevator music for us or something, you know, equally exciting. Sing along a little tune. Now the tag you see here is part of the exclusive printables that came in the kit for the month, and we get them every month. They're created by one of the design team, and they fit in very well. Everything's really coordinated in those kits, as I think I've said before. I've tried using thread a little bit in my layouts of late. Don't think that piece made it on to there. No, I was going to pop it in the back there. Just because it's not an element I usually use. It seems to be quite popular, but you know, every now and again you've got to challenge yourself sometimes to keep the interest and mojo flowing when you're scrapbooking, and I think with anything, I guess, with any hobby. So yeah, that was that's my thing at the moment, trying to add some thread and twine and whatnot to the layouts I do. Well, the 12x12 ones anyway. I haven't quite branched to the project life. I've done a lot of 12x12 I've discovered lately, so I have to pop in some project life. Now these puffy stickers are also, I think, Simple Story, Pink Fresh Studio, one of the other. They came in the kit as well. And so this is my title I've decided to use, and it's called The Reason Why. And then underneath I do use a little thing that says, the reason why you're my sweetheart. Sort of tied in quite well together. These are really well stuck to the packaging. I can't remember where I got the idea for this layering, whether or not it just sort of came to me. Sometimes I want to do different techniques. I'm sure you guys are like that as well. You know, as I've said before, I'm not creatively minded, I think, naturally. So yeah, I try and use YouTube, Pinterest, those sorts of things, just to give me a bit of a branch out on what I do. Yeah. See, I've worked with that adhesive then too. Alright, so now I think all the main pieces are stuck down. I start to look at adding extra pieces to it, to the layout. I use this, I guess you could call it a border sticker. It's on the Kaiser Craft sticker sheet that came as well in the kit. And the bottom of it just says, there's like a few words, phrases. It says snapshot, happy snap, oh snap, and memories. Originally I was going to cut them across in pieces, and then I decided that I would, as you can see, put it as one big sort of title or border piece at the bottom. You can never tell whether or not a layout's going to come together. And I think you can tell when, you know, I don't know how everyone else goes, but when you've partially planned it, sometimes it flows a bit better, whereas this one took me a little bit, as you can see, thinking fingers, tap, 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 tap. What next? I wanted to use up a lot in the kit too, because I felt like, especially that Kaiser Craft sticker sheet, I hadn't used heaps in it, or the ephemera pack. I think maybe because I hadn't quite gotten to scrapping any lovey-dove photos as such. I'm sure they will come in time as I'm catching up bits and pieces of my 2016 family albums and kids albums and whatnot, and get to this year's as well. Yeah, I've done a few. This is for this year's album, family album. I'm sort of jumping between at the moment 2016 and tail end of 2016 and these 2017. I think, I don't know if they were the printables. See, this is what happens when you don't do the voiceover straight away. These bits that you can see on the side, the XOXO, was all part of the ephemera pack as well. It wasn't in the printables. And I fuss around with what to lay on the layout. You see me sort of fiddle around, and I think I cut a little bit out of where I'm trying to decide what ephemera piece to use. These are the Crepe Paper Hello Love ephemera pack. It didn't come in the kit, as I said, though. You did use some pieces from my stash. I've just got these off a girl on Facebook, just to team up a few coordinating pieces, I guess. I think I just got them for that reason. So yeah, I do go through that pack. I do pick this heart. I loved. I thought it just tied in so well because it had the floral on it as well, and I've got the floral in the background and different pieces of that. Yeah, I think this layout came together really, really well. You ever have a layout where you just go, I'm really liking that layout, like I am in love with that layout? Well, this is one of those layouts, I think. Does anyone else feel that way? Do you ever start a layout and you go, especially when it's out of your comfort zone? So how's everybody been? What's everyone's greatest scrappy achievements of late? As I said, I got a couple of layouts done yesterday, as you might have seen on my blog or on my Instagram. And as I said, some layouts with my daughter as well. She wanted to do some, showing her the gelato technique. Alright, just doing some journaling here on the heart that I picked to go in that... Oh no, I think, yeah, no, it goes up on the yellow floral paper that you see up above the doily there. The doily is. So I just wrote, on our trip to Sydney for Guns N' Roses, our Valentine's Day. This was at the beginning of February. Now I do pop that piece up as well just to make it stand out. I think I use just normal foam, yeah, double-sided foam tape for this. Again, just to add an element of dimension to the layout as well, and give some of those key pieces a bit of a, make sure it's standing out a little bit. Oops. Note to self, write on heart before sticking, before taking the backing off the tape. So just using my Tombow glue there again, just because it's a bit finer, those for the exos. I hope everyone's been liking my process videos. Tell me if there's anything you'd really like to see, especially if you're a bit of a newbie to scrapbooking. I've been there, done that, where you want to watch every process video there is. And, I remember when I started Project Life and I started looking at different YouTube channels, and I was like, oh my gosh, I actually felt really overwhelmed at first, because some people do it really basically, and then if you look at the sort of starting of it with Becky Higgins, the whole intention was to make it really basic scrapping, and then some people just went, but yeah, eventually I sort of obviously found my own groove, and now I'm cruising along, and it's, learning the mixed media techniques more than anything now than, and just different styles for the 12x12 layouts as well as the Project Life. But yeah, let me know if there's anything you want to see. I think I've said that before, but definitely if you've watched it and you get a bit sort of, or if you've got any questions about how to do things, or anything that I've done or got or whatever, please by all means let me know. And as I said, I have a blog now, which is scrappinames.wordpress.com, and my Instagram is just scrappin_ames, AMES. So just playing around with some ephemera pieces for there. I do think I cut a bit of this out, because in the end it just becomes like nearly every piece I try, because I can't make a decision to save my life. I really liked these floral pieces. I'm not a florally person until this kit came in, and the yellow floral pattern paper there, the little square you can see that's left of it, oh, I loved it. And I've just received the March kits, and again, I haven't even been able to sort of bite into them yet, because they're just so beautiful and I don't want to use it all. So, yes. So I think I finally make a decision about what's going where on this bit. I think there's two tags and a floral piece that I stick on, as you'll see. This piece just says you and me, or you plus me, sorry. And there's a little florally piece that goes on it. The twine. So I've discovered that tags do look better with twine put into them, or thread. So I know this isn't thread, I guess you'd call this twine. So I've been making sure that I put it through, and I've just added a little pink piece. This just came from Kmart. You can buy little boxes of them in the scrapbooking section of glittery ones of different colours and things like that. So, and to be honest, this isn't mine either. I may have borrowed it from my stepdaughter's scrapbooking stuff. She's not using it, so I may as well put it to good use at the moment. As you can see, it just says love. Do you ever find an ephemera piece you're like, I have to use this? This was this little heart, gold heart arrow thing. I just loved it. It was just this little piece, and I was like determined that I was going to use it on. Do you ever have ephemera pieces you ever find in a pack and you go, I must use this? It's just so nice. I want to use it. I want to see how I use it or whatever. Yeah, I have pieces like that. I get a bit sort of obsessed with some of my things. Sorry, this video seems a bit boring, doesn't it? There's not a lot to say. It's all fairly self-explanatory. I probably, as I said, could chuck some music over it for you. But anyway, gives it a bit of a chance for some scrappy chat. And if you haven't seen any of my videos before, my albums are, I do a family album. I only started that last year, and I'll have one for this year, and then each of my kids have an album, or albums. My son's up to his third album, and I do a mix of Project Life now and 12 by 12 layouts, whether it be traditional or mixed media. I don't have separate albums for them or anything like that. I just think it adds something a bit different too when you turn a page, and it, you know, might be a bit like wow, and you know, and sometimes when I've done it like this, for this layout here, as I said, it went in our 2017 album, family album, and there's this page as almost like a title page, and then there's behind this there's a Project Life spread of sort of at the concert and, you know, things like that. So, you know, sometimes I'll do it like that, and at the end of last year, for example, when I did an album for my grandmother, I sort of had a title layout page, and then I did like a spread or something like that with Project Life, and I've kind of liked that groove, so I've kept it going as such, or as much as I possibly can. So yeah, I just think it, I don't know why, I think it looks really good actually, having the mix of both. Does mean sometimes your albums, I think, can chunk up a bit more because you sometimes might have more embellishments, as this page does, compared to say maybe some Project Life spreads that may not, depending on what everyone's style is and how they want to do things. But yeah, that's how I roll, that's how I do things. As I said before, pretty easy going, no set thing, but yeah. So we're nearly at the end of this layout. I hope you've enjoyed my video. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you want to see or any questions you have. But otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe. What am I doing there? Tapping my fingers for something. What am I looking for? Oh, okay, yes, that's right. I sort of felt that that bit there needed something. I don't end up putting anything there, but God only knows. So yeah, now you get to see some close-ups. And yeah, I will see you next time with another layout. And I do hope, yeah, you like and subscribe. And yeah, see you next time. Bye, Scrappy fans.